We installed Elementary OS Juno on our laptop a couple of weeks ago. Even we made a video about that. During this time we have made many adjustments to make Elementary OS fit our needs. We summarize these adjustments in the 13 things to do after installing Elementary OS Juno. Most of these will also be useful for most of the Elementary OS users around. So before moving on to the video, subscribe to our channel for more and more tech and Linux videos. Don't forget to turn on the notifications by hitting the bell icon. Epiphany, the default web browser of Elementary OS, is well integrated into the Pantheon desktop environment. But it is inferior to Firefox. From our experience, it fails to play some full HD videos smoothly and it lacks some key extensions we use in Firefox. Firefox, on the other hand, has no problem with playing full HD videos and has plenty of useful extensions. So, the first thing we did in my Elementary OS is we replaced Epiphany with Firefox. So we choose to use Flatpak to install Firefox. Flatpak is a package manager where we get the latest version of every app. Elementary OS App Store has native support for Flatpak, but we should enable it by downloading an app in FlatHub. Open FlatHub Store from Epiphany. You will see a bunch of apps. Now click Firefox and it will download a file. Now a pop-up will appear. Check the checkbox and click Install Anyway. Wait for the app to install.
I don't like the way it feels. Those cutting words that never heal. Behind the barricade, you're tossing grenades while I'm trying to settle and disengage. You're playing with fire, preparing for war. I'm ready to settle the score. You're sounding the alarm.
Now the Flatpak is enabled and also installed Firefox. Next, we have changed many other settings using the terminal or conf editor, but later we discovered that you can do all these changes with the nice graphical program Elementary OS Tweaks. So, as a second thing to do after installing the Elementary OS, we recommend installing Elementary Tweaks. To install it, open the terminal. Enter the command shown. Don't worry, all the required commands are given in the description box below. Tweaks will be available in your Elementary OS settings after the installation. We will show how I used it in the next things to do after installation of Elementary OS. The file manager of the Elementary OS uses a single click to open files and folders by default. It is also the default behavior of Plasma 5. Some users seem to like this behavior, but I do not. I also believe many new Linux users are used to double-click. So, I disable the single click. This is when Elementary Tweaks come to play. Go to Settings, Tweaks, Files, and disable single click.
You're
Now, you can use your mouse pointer to click in a traditional way with one click to select and double click to open. Another non-standard behavior of elementary OS is that by default you can use Ctrl-C and Ctrl-V to copy and paste in the terminal. Elementary OS tries to be friendly for new Linux users, and I understand that. However, these shortcuts are not standard and confusing for users who have some experience of using the terminal. For example, Ctrl-C is usually used to interrupt the process in the terminal window. But in the elementary OS it copies the text. We prefer to use the standard shortcuts, and we think new users should learn them too. So, to disable these natural copy-paste shortcuts in the terminal and return the standard ones, open Tweaks and in the Terminal tab disable natural copy-paste. After that, you will have to use Ctrl-Shift-C and Ctrl-Shift-V to copy and paste in the terminal. These shortcuts may feel a little awkward if you are a new Linux user, but believe me, after you get used to them you will appreciate them. The major advantage: you can now use Ctrl-C to interrupt the running process in the terminal. Elementary OS has only close and maximize buttons by default. The Elementary OS team argues that instead of the minimize button, you should use the close button, and the application should stay preloaded in the memory after you close it, so next time you open it, it opens very fast. But it seems that only elementary specific applications behave this way. We are also conservative in our habits, so we prefer to have the minimize button. To add the minimize button, open Tweaks again, and in the Appearance tab select Minimize Left Layout.
You're tossing grenades.
There are available some other options, check them out. You can have buttons like in Windows, Mac OS, Ubuntu, etc. As our office of choice, we installed LibreOffice. We believe it is the best office suite for Linux. To install the LibreOffice, open the terminal. Now enter the command shown. The latter two packages are required to make LibreOffice look native in elementary OS. This is how LibreOffice looks in my elementary OS. If you do not get this look out of the box, navigate to Tools, Options, View, Icon Style and select the elementary style. After we tried to use the Clipboard Manager in Plasma 5, I cannot imagine my computer work without it. In Plasma 5, it is a part of the desktop. But in elementary OS you need to install a third-party app to get this functionality. We tried different programs and only Clipped worked the best. To install it, open the terminal by pressing Windows key plus T. Now type the command show. Don't worry, all the required commands are given in the description. That's all we have installed Clipped. Next, we recommend to create a keyboard shortcut for it. Go to Settings, Keyboard Shortcuts and add the command shown and assign a shortcut for it. For example, I use Windows key plus V. So, if I press Windows key plus V, I will see the list of strings I copied recently. I can select the one I need from this list and paste it where I need.
You're standing your ground, ready to die on the hill.
Try this program. We promise you won't imagine your work without it after you start using it. There are different ways to install the essential drivers. The easiest way is to run this command and it will help you to install all the necessary drivers. Open terminal and type the command shown. Press enter. It will search for drivers.
Preparing for war, I'm ready to settle the score. You're sounding the alarm while I'm trying to remain in the calm before the...
Our system doesn't require any proprietary drivers, so we cannot show you all possible options. Please, share your experience with installing the drivers this way. If you play different media files, you may want to install media codes for some commonly used formats. To install, open terminal. Enter the command shown. Now press tab and the OK button will be highlighted. Now press enter. Now select yes and press enter. GDebi helps to install deb packages with a graphical interface. This is also not what we do on my system because we are fine with using the command line. However, we know that many new Linux users prefer installing programs with a graphical interface. So, if you will need to install some non-official programs and deb packages, you would like to have GDebi. To install GDebi, open the terminal and type sudo apt-install GDebi.
Like the way it feels, those cutting words that never heal behind the barricade.
To test GDebi, try to install any deb package. We use elementary OS on a laptop. So, we install TLP package that reduces the number of running tasks in the background and thus extends the battery life. You just need to install and forget about it. To install it, open terminal and type the command shown. That's all. We installed it on our Dell laptop and we got the battery life of 4 to 5 hours, which is compatible with what we had with Windows 8 on this laptop. We list install Synaptic as the last thing to do after installing elementary OS because we think Synaptic is rather a software manager for advanced users. Although its interface is not the prettiest, Synaptic is extremely reliable and powerful software manager. You can see the real package names instead of user-friendly names you see in the elementary software manager. You will also find all available packages in Synaptic, while in the elementary software manager, you will see only the pre-selected packages. There are also more options for installation in Synaptic, and you will find more advanced information about a program. For example, you can see all the dependencies. So, if you want to have access to more advanced features in your software manager, install Synaptic. To do so, open terminal and enter the command shown. This was our list of 13 things to do after installing elementary OS Juno. We hope it was useful. Let us know what things you do with your elementary OS after the installation. If you want more content for Linux, subscribe to our channel. By the way, if you find this video, give us a like. Before ending the video, let you guys know about our segue to our sponsor. Link for the channel is given in the description.